Welcome Wolfpack and YouTube everywhere around the world. Thank you for joining this channel right here, right now. So here's my video about the new latest Harry Potter SOS event.
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Winter is coming.
More like a rant video, and I'm going to say it straight out, it is going to be a rant video. Oh, where can I begin? Okay, first off, the hype was relatively quiet about this event. They just notified us in-game and a little blurb about the event that was going to happen this Saturday. It wasn't like a big fanfare thing. It wasn't like a commercial on it or a teaser or anything like that. They said, oh, by the way, there's an event this Saturday. But even in the game, they didn't even put a news notification. They only talked about next week. First, right off the bat, I get in the road. I do my usual wait 5 minutes. The event starts just to see if there's any glitches, any delays. Because typically whenever there's a new event, especially with a new game like this, the first few minutes, it's always going to either not spawn correctly or it's just going to lock the game. There's always that little, so I give it a little leeway. So 5 minutes into the game, I start it up. I drive around, just look at it. Looks normal. Okay. Everything looks exactly the same. So I thought, okay, well, let me just go to my very first spot in the live stream. I went to the original place where I started the game, even before the game came out, the -1 video. So I went there because it's always going to be a place. In fact, as I mentioned in the live stream, if my channel gets past 1 million subscribers, and hopefully plenty of views, I will throw a party at that place, a Harry Potter party, and everyone's invited. It'll be my treat kind of thing, but I have to reach that level. Anyways, that aside. So I went there, waited for the inn to open up, and okay, I saw a few confoundables pop up. Okay, did my usual thing. Nothing. Like, well, okay, that's just the one stop. So I decided, clear up a few confoundables, free up some things. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that looked different or odd. So I drove into town, my usual hunting grounds for Pokemon Go and now Harry Potter. So in this picture right here, flags are the same. I was stopped, so I didn't see. There's nothing there. No crazy spawns or no notification. What I was expecting was as soon as I stopped, it'd be all flooded with one particular type of confoundables, like for instance beasts. Would show up like all beast icons with maybe an occasional sprinkling of something different here and there. Just like in Pokemon Go, where you see a majority of spawns of one type, but then you still see other spawns sprinkled throughout. So I was expecting the map to be flooded with a particular type and with a few differences. Nothing. In fact, in my live stream, someone said, is this broken? Is this event bugged? So I didn't really say anything because I don't know. Maybe it was just delayed. So I just kept on playing. Here's an example of something that I freed up, which isn't typical, but I have seen before. Now, I know that even with Pokemon Go, for instance, if there's an event going on, like for instance, the Torchic event, you have seen Torchics before, but maybe that particular Torchic has a special move, whatever. So there's an incentive to catch that Torchic versus normally on off days because it has that special move. You evolve it, Case being, there's a specific reason why you'd want to get that particular Torchic, and also why you would want to evolve it, and why you want to invest the time into this. That's the key point here. So this, I thought, okay. So I did the trace. It wasn't too difficult. I've seen that portrait a few times. It's not as common as, for instance, the what I call the clock goblins. It's not a typical find, but it's an occasional find. I've seen this a few times. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I can collect the fragments. I don't normally see it, so that's good. So I said, okay, that's something. Still, nothing that grabbed me or was impressive. It was just a nice thing, but not out of the ordinary. Then I decided to do a couple of Portkeys. That again, I was kind of hoping that as soon as I walked in the portal, maybe it would be like a different background, or maybe the lights would be different, or something that would indicate any difference. It was exactly the same. Now, I didn't expect... Now, I know this event specifically didn't say anything about Portkeys, but I was just trying everything out to see if there's anything different. or unique or something that would grab you. Something like, okay, this is different. This is cool. This is new. Remember, the game just came out. Nothing. Now, I will say this. There was, in some instances, and I don't even know if this is just because I've been playing more for that particular time or not, but I did notice more spell energy in some areas. But then again, I don't know if it's because I was playing 3 hours straight. If I would have played another day 3 hours straight, if I would have had the same issue with just more spell energy. Now, I couldn't tell if there's any difference in that or not. I did see more winner chicken dinners, but again, that's common. Now, here, I saw this. Now it started getting interesting. Now, I've already been like an hour into the game, and I thought, okay, well, hopefully something will happen to it. Now, I saw this, and this was remarkable. I have not seen this ever in the game. So this was definitely unique. And then I saw the threat rating. Very first time I ever came across something that was severe. Now, I don't know if this is particularly rare or not. I have been seeing this now. I was kind of getting excited, but guess what? It ran. Now, I did notice one other thing, which was kind of peeved me a little bit. No pun intended, peeve. A lot more confoundables disintegrated, disappeared, etc. What do you want to call it? And so that was kind of annoying. Like, why did it increase the rate of that? I mean, these things are common, and there's running away more. That made zero sense. So, but I was hopeful for this piece of armor coming up. Like, okay, that's cool. That's different. That's new. And I saw this now. I don't actually remember if I've seen this before. I think it might be rare, but I'll consider this unique and new because I don't remember actually seeing this particular cactus plant. So like, okay. And then that was it. Nothing else. For the rest of the time, if you watch my live stream, all the other challenges were normal, books that were chained up, wardrobes, little bubbles, it's little worms they have to free up, things that you normally see in actual average gameplay. For the rest of the event, I did not see anything unique. I did not see any increased, I'll just say increased spawns or confoundables in a particular area. I was half expecting to see like maybe all the whole map temporarily would be like all beasts instead of the different flagged areas that you saw, like, this is Slytherin specifically, etc. I didn't see anything. It got to a point where I was playing, then the Pokemon Go Raikou event came along. So some people were trying to Discord like, hey, I could use help over here. So I actually switched over to Pokemon Go, and you'll see some of that in the video if you really want to see it. And I started doing a couple Raikou. Now, funny thing is, I actually got a shiny Raikou out of this. And even more incredible, one of the guys that I call the shiny king in the area, he always gets like double-digit shinies. I was actually able to get it before he did. And I don't know if he actually wound up getting one. That event went well, even though I wasn't really doing that. I decided to switch over because that was a little more involved, a little more engaged. There's a lot more people playing it. So like, okay, that's kind of fun. And that was the other thing. I didn't really see anybody playing this event. I saw some seedlings that were planted, and that's another thing that Portkey is going to have to do. They're going to have to create more seeds that are less than an hour long, like something that maybe 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something that you can play. And then when 5 minutes go, because 5 minutes is another spin or another swipe or another, greenhouse in activation. That could be a quick seed. The quickest one being an hour, that's kind of awkward, because that means you're going to have to be in the area for an hour. And the other ones are just real pain to schedule on. A day? Now, I could have thrown something, and in fact, I don't think I actually did put something in there that was a day long, maybe. Well, I missed that. That was like at 4 or something, because I'm not going to keep track of a day. That's just something that you're going to like a happy accident. So they really need to create more seeds that are shorter time periods in this. So Niantic, if you catch this video, create more assets that are quicker. You need something that might be a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, 30, anything in that ballpark, anything under an hour. Because if you're doing an event like this, like if you're going to compare it to like a Pokemon Go event, you want to throw like 30 minutes would probably be the max for these smaller seeds that you want to place, because someone could drop something in, then everyone could benefit and everyone could rush to get it. You got another half an hour, you're good. The other thing is, the other key is, which is more important that I don't think anybody's realizing, is once you plant a seed, it's there. that greenhouse is locked down. And if it's for a day, that greenhouse is locked for a day. So it's a mad rush to try to get your seeds in there, because if you want to or you're just going to wind up deleting things. And I don't think that's the intention, is to constantly just delete things until the rare chance you get to place your seed and then maybe benefit from it. If you have shorter time span, it could be something simple. Like maybe these seeds will create items for potion versus, smaller items for potion, more common things. Do that. So at least you can rotate the inventory a little bit more, and it'll make it a little more useful instead of having it constantly be filled like, okay, you're full up, delete, or spend 150, 200, whatever. It's annoying. It's a frustration that doesn't need to be. So Portkey games, consider that as an option. Niantic, I know you're probably not dealing with that granular level of play. So consider that. I was actually kind of bored. To be honest, I was. It didn't feel special. It didn't feel unique. It was a couple cool things. But if I'm going to be investing 3 hours in an event, I want those 3 hours to be special instead of the occasional hit, because it felt like I was playing the game normally. Now, granted, I got some experience, but that wasn't anything unique. So that's my rant for Harry Potter's Wizards Unite SOS event. Now, it'll be hopeful that this new event comes out next week, but I'm not holding my breath. The first thing they tried, they didn't really do well with it. I didn't even notice anything except for the notification that came on the phone. Like, yay, event starts. Yay, okay. Now what? So maybe this whole next week thing will be more profitable. But if they screw this up, it does not bode well for the game, because there are other headaches that you come across when you get into higher levels. And it's forcing team cooperation, which is fine. But if you're in a rural area or in a place where you don't have a lot of players to begin with, and Harry Potter is not as grabby as Pokemon Go is apparently, so you may have like 5 players in a town, and if you need like a major fortress hit, good luck with that. So there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be doing higher level fortresses or even these events. So you're leaving a lot of people out in the cold. What would be a good idea? And one thing I noticed, now this is a completely different game. There's an AR game called it's called Walking Dead Our World. Now, what I really like about that game that I haven't seen in any other augmented reality games is I can open up the game here, and there'll be just enough things to do even here, not in a citywide area, and just a cul-de-sac. I'd be lucky if I saw maybe one Pokemon. There are no stops or anything like that. Maybe one Pokemon. In Harry Potter, I probably would be lucky to see one ingredient. That's it. But with Walking Dead, I see a couple supply crates, at least 2 or 3 different, like one zombie thing or rescue or infestation that you could do in that gameplay. Now, it may take an half an hour to get back into it, but I can sit here and play for a little bit and actually enjoy the game without having to move. Now, and it's not going to break the game, because you still have to go out to other places to get more items, to get more experience, to get more of everything. But you can pull up the game and you can actually play it. I can play it here for a little bit, and it's fun. I pull up Pokemon Go or Harry Potter, nothing. Key difference: Walking Dead Our World is not Niantic. That's the difference. It's not Niantic. Maybe some people in Niantic could get a clue and a hint, like, and this will solve the problem with rural players. If you can pull up Pokemon Go or Harry Potter and play the game where you're sitting without having to break the bank or breaking the game, or like, oh, they're going to get too powerful too quick. If they can do things for 5 minutes, maybe it won't spawn for like another half an hour or an hour. But if they could play for 5 minutes versus pulling up the game and nothing, it's worthwhile. So consider that option. It could be something as maybe a simple confoundables. That's fine. Give me something to do for a few minutes versus pulling up the game like, yeah, that's nothing. Go do something else. So if you really want to captivate the time for your game players, that's what needs to be done. And you could scale that. You could easily scale that so that it won't be overrun in city areas. Less population in city, greater population in rural, and have it sprinkled all over uniformly. That's it. Coding wise, it's not that hard. So I'm going to upload this video. Hopefully at least find this informative. That's my rant, my information. I did play a little bit today. Got some more confoundables. But I'm creating these videos and playing the game. I will upload the professions test. I will do the various wood types for wand. I will go into make another video, the different collectibles, and just if someone asked me to narrate the different descriptions, I could do that. But I'm also going to be creating other videos because I feel that this game really hasn't grabbed me. This is going to be a longevity kind of game. Now, it just came out. Pokemon Go, remember for the first few weeks when Pokemon Go first came out, it was very buggy. It was fun, but there was a lot of junk that really didn't make the game fun. Like, remember raiding, where everyone just put in all Dragonites and Snorlaxes? That was not fun. Or the constant crashing in the game, or the weeds where you could find Pokemon where it didn't work. Or, you know, like the footsteps that didn't make any sense. And you couldn't even find things. So it has growing pains. So I'm not going to give up on Harry Potter. I'm not going to give it up. I'm just saying right now that there are a lot of things that could be fixed in this game. And the very one thing that's an easy, just a cosmetic thing, save your profile settings. If you have anything that you unlock that you put on your little profile page, it's not a game breaker. Fix it. It's a simple fix. Don't push it so you have to re-associate it every single time you start the game. You could change it. You could change it whenever you want. Just edit it. But save it. It's a simple thing, man. So here you go. Hopefully, at least you're enjoying the game. I know there's a lot of people that haven't gotten a chance to play it yet or haven't downloaded yet, but give it a shot. Check out my live stream for my friend code. So hopefully you have a wonderful, beautiful day. Keep playing. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out. Catch you guys later.
Gone, gone, gone,